So it's March 13th. The news of March is the Iran war. And today, you see when you open a private window with Tor, you see the top news for everyone is this plane, this fueling plane that crashed in Iraq. So this connects to my drawing. I just want to show it. I do drawings here that has to do with the top news of the future. Let's show you. So I've done many of these videos lately connected to my latest drawing. Here's another one, right? So so this plane has a refueling arm, right? So a plane, like the top news is about a plane with a refueling arm, right? And what did I paint? I made a drawing of a hand, but the drawing has also an arm in it. It's a hand and it's a lower arm part. And I've done many of these videos lately. You should see them if you haven't. So I mean, this is just one example of the latest top news that is resonating with my drawing. Just wanted to show you that. That kind of you can see this you know you can see this as a plane flying, and I added this flame here, right? To the so that it looks like an airplane, right? There's a gray plane, and there's an arm coming down from the plane, as I showed here in the image. So it kind of resonates with this top news. But you can also see it as two planes, one is flying above here, and there's a refueling arm going down to the plane below it, right? There are two planes. One bigger plane that is refueling, the refueling plane, the KC. The KC 135 is the name of it. It's a bit funny because it's my initials, my initials are KC, right? My name, KC, you know. But anyhow, so there's a refueling arm going down to the lower plane, giving it fuel, and now it crashed, right? So just saw this I mean, it was quite obvious to me that, that it's kind of connected here. And the fact, like, when looking at at the news, it's very important for me to be unbiased, and just focus on the top of the top news. The reason why that's important is because it's a way to maintain sanity. Like, I am basically unbiased when I look at the top news. No one can tell me that this is biased. I'm not really picking the news. That's what I say, at least, okay? So most often this lately there's been a lot of censoring. So because of so for example, the video that I did about a hand that was broken on an Iran war briefing, that news, I discovered it a week later, right? But this one, maybe this is less obvious for the those that want to censor the news. It's quite hard to realize that it's connected here in this way. It's a bit harder to see it, and so they are not going to note. They didn't notice that this was allowed to be uncensored because they didn't have the imagination to see it, right? Um, so once again, let me repeat. When I look at the top news, I'm looking at the top. This is a private window with Tor. It's basically as private as it can be. And I open up the news. what's at the top, okay? At the top is this crash, this plane crash of KC-135. And when I do my drawings, I do I do show you this, right? I show you this little text here that it is going to connect to the top news, okay? And so it is, I am stating this beforehand. Every time I make a drawing, I kind of go on my leap of faith, and then we together see it unfold here, you know, that's basically what's happening. And my way, as I say, like when doing this, because this is quite odd, you know, making a drawing and then saying that, okay, it's going to connect to the top news. And when I do like that, as I said, it's important to maintain a state of sanity, right? Because I am sane, okay? That's the most important part here, is that I am sane. And this is a battle of sanity, right? And that's what I'm waging, you know. It's kind of a waging of that, a battle of sanity. And that's why it's so important for me to show you this first here, that this is a private window. I always intended to talk about the top news. Once again, you know, I'm able to do that. And, you know, and we see it basically happen. I mean, this is just one out of many. As I'm saying, this is, as I mentioned earlier, this is cascade, you know, it's a cascade of news. It's a cascade of fractal iterations of you know, smaller and bigger things having resemblance to each other, okay? These are things that are so hard to think about, because the human mind wants to hallucinate, you know, just like an AI would. An AI, you know, it hallucinates, and it gets um it gets like the AI becomes insane, okay, from this, and so it's so important to maintain this sanity, right? It's the most important part. And then make drawings, you know, that resonate. That's what I'm doing here. Okay, guys, that's another video. See you. Bye bye.